Hey guys, welcome back to CryptoBytes, your daily crypto news source. So for this video, we will be talking about the 5 latest updates on the world of crypto. We will be giving attention on Bitcoin surges above $18,000 to cap 8-day winning streak. Crypto makes history in 2022. 5 instances of embracing digital assets. FTX attorney announces $5 billion in assets recovered. Cardano DeFi activity soars 36% as ADA opens 2023 with big rallies. Amazon Web Services users can now launch Avalanche blockchain nodes. I hope you're all doing fine right now because these issues are hot enough to talk about. Please watch this video until the very end so that you won't miss a single detail. Do like and subscribe to our channel so you will be updated in the latest happenings in crypto. So first we will be talking about Bitcoin surges above $18,000 to cap 8-day winning streak. Bitcoin's price has risen for the 8th consecutive day, and it has above $18,000 for the first time since mid-December. The cryptocurrency has not enjoyed such a long winning run since July 2021, when the COVID-19 outbreak was at its peak. BTC has gained about 8% in the previous 7 days, with a 4.1% increase in the last 24 hours at the time of writing. On January 11, Cointelegraph experts anticipated that Bitcoin may climb to $18,000, putting pressure on $275 million in weekly options expiring January 13, with bets at $16,500 or below. Hedge firm Moskovsky Capital CEO Lex Moskovsky tweeted a picture on January 11 indicating $86 million worth of Bitcoin short were, quote, getting smoked royally, end quote. Over 2022, BTC's price dropped by roughly 65%. The second largest exchange at the time of its bankruptcy, crypto exchange FTX, as well as multiple other bankruptcies and crashes in the industry that year, also put pressure on the broader crypto market. On January 11, FTX announced that it had recovered $5 billion in cash and cryptocurrencies which it may sell to pay off its creditors. If FTX customers are refunded, some believe this action might create an optimistic narrative. The exchange also discovered a handful of cryptocurrencies that it predicts would be more difficult to sell due to their illiquid marketplaces. Some have cautioned against jumping to conclusions about the price, claiming that a BTC price surge is common prior to the publication of US Consumer Price Index data. The CPI report is coming on January 12. And many people appear to anticipate that it will indicate that inflation is down and that the Federal Reserve will hold off on raising interest rates as a result. In line with the mood, stock prices have been rising. The S&P 500 has increased 4% over the last 5 days, according to Google Finance. US Treasury rates have lately decreased somewhat as well, according to data from Bloomberg. Crypto makes history in 2022, 5 instances of governments embracing digital assets. The reputation of cryptocurrencies among politicians and regulators wasn't the best in 2022. However, despite the market collapse and ongoing public criticism of the sector, some of the officials had the guts to accept the innovation. Some of the names are not new, but others made advancements that were noteworthy enough to warrant inclusion in this list. While the United Kingdom worked hard to create the groundwork for regulation, the United Arab Emirates, El Salvador, and Brazil all proceeded to advance their legalization of cryptocurrencies. Brazil and the Central African Republic all did the same. Brazil may have had mainstream adoption in 2021, but it wasn't until 2022 that the nation received its own regulatory framework. Jair Bolsonaro, the outgoing president of Brazil, approved a measure allowing the use of cryptocurrencies as a means of payment before he left office. Although the measure does not make cryptocurrencies legal cash like it does in El Salvador, it still defines digital currencies legally and provides a licensing system for companies that provide services for virtual assets. On schedule, the bill arrived. Brazil's tax department noted 12,053 distinct firms reporting Bitcoin on their balance sheets in August 2022, marking new highs for the number of businesses holding the cryptocurrency. The Brazilian Stock Exchange announced in May that it will introduce Bitcoin futures trading as its first official cryptocurrency-related product. In contrast to the US, 11 exchange-traded funds having exposure to cryptocurrency are now traded on the Brazilian exchange by institutional and individual investors. The year certainly wasn't easy for Great Britain. Queen Elizabeth II died in 2022, having ruled the country for 70 years. Liz Truss and Boris Johnson both resigned as prime ministers. However, the unstable administration never ceased trying to regulate cryptocurrency. The United Kingdom nevertheless provides a strong argument for a national regulatory framework, even though the results of this effort could be more remarkable. The Financial Services and Markets Bill, which was unveiled in July, reaffirmed the UK's goal of becoming a major center for cryptocurrencies. Stablecoin restrictions were expanded and the phrase digital settlement asset was created. With the passage of the measure, the Treasury will have the power to control all aspects of of DSAs, including payments, service providers, and insolvency agreements. To reduce risk for those targeted by ransomware attacks, the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Bill, tabled in May, suggested, quote, developing authorities to more swiftly and easily take and reclaim crypto assets, end quote. The British Web3 community rejoiced this year after a significant legal milestone. Non-fungible tokens, NFT, are now considered to be private property according to the High Court of Justice in London, which is the closest equivalent to the Supreme Court of the United States. Treasury reduced its requirements for collecting information from senders and recipients of cryptocurrency sent to unhosted wallets unless the transaction poses, quote, an elevated risk of illicit finance, end quote. And by the end of the year, it made a great gift to all the investors by allowing transactions of designated crypto assets for the investment manager exception. El Salvador deserves to be on our list, if only for its perseverance, as its biggest breakthrough happened in 2021. Once unveiling the proposal to issue Bitcoin bonds, the administration of Nayib Bukele has been striving to accomplish it ever since. The first delay happened in March, then repeated in September. A measure declaring the government's intention to generate $1 billion and invest it in the creation of a Bitcoin city was submitted in November by Economy Minister Maria Luisa Hayam-Brive, but no information on its success has been released since. Still, the country remains a critical laboratory for Bitcoin acceptance. The tourist sector in El Salvador has grown by more than 30%, according to Morena Valdez, Minister of Tourism for El Salvador, since the law regulating Bitcoins was passed in September 2021. At the beginning of 2022, a research done by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that 20% of establishments had started accepting BTC as a payment option. 44 central bankers from poor nations attended a 3-day meeting in El Salvador in May to address financial inclusion and talk about Bitcoin. Central bank representatives from Ghana, Burundi, Jordan, the Maldives, Pakistan, and Costa Rica all attended the event. The Central African Republic, which has a population of 5 million, became the first country in the continent to authorize the usage of cryptocurrencies in financial markets in April. The cryptocurrency measure, which was overwhelmingly endorsed by parliamentarians, made it possible for merchants and enterprises to accept payments in cryptocurrencies and opened the door for tax payments through recognized organizations. Sango Coin, the local central bank's digital currency, was introduced in July with the goal of raising close to $1 billion over the following 12 months, but only $1.66 million worth of the currency has been sold thus far. The nation has recently revealed a plan to allow foreign investors to acquire citizenship for $60,000 worth of Sango coins. The CAR's highest court, however, rejected this measure as unlawful and halted it. The Central African Monetary Union will be negatively impacted by the law, according to the Bank of Central African States, which objected to its adoption. The United Arab Emirates approached cryptocurrency strategically and made steady progress in establishing a regulated framework and luring foreign investors. Maybe for this reason, the nation is included in the Cointelegraph listicle for a second time in a row. Dubai created a legal framework for cryptocurrencies in March with the goals of safeguarding investors and, quote, creating much-needed international standards, end quote, for industry governance. With the exception of the Dubai International Financial Center, the newly established Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority was given enforcement authority in the Emirates Special Development and Free Zones. FTX, a now-defunct cryptocurrency exchange, was one of the first to acquire the same license. Abu Dhabi, a different emirate, developed certain proposed guidelines for NFT trading. They designated NFTs as intellectual property as opposed to, quote, defined investments or financial instruments, end quote, and authorized the operation of NFT markets through multilateral trading facilities and virtual asset custodians. Dubai unveiled its Dubai Metaverse strategy in July with the goal of making the emirate one of the top 10 metaverse economies on the planet. It involves working together on research and develop initiatives to increase the metaverse's economic contributions, using accelerators and incubators to draw foreign businesses and projects, and supporting metaverse education for programmers, content creators, and consumers. Even the nation launched its first metaverse metropolis. It is known as Sharjahverse and is a photorealistic, physics-accurate metaverse that covers the whole 1,000 square mile surface of the emirate. The virtual city will assist in regional tourism sector and may even lead to the creation of new metaverse employment. In terms of favorable regulation, 2022 wasn't too horrible. The competition to create the first complete crypto framework in the US and the possibility of deregulation in Hong Kong and South Korea will make the following year even more intriguing. FTX attorney announces $5 billion in assets recovered. FTX recovered almost $5 billion composed of cash, financial assets, and liquid cryptocurrencies, according to Reuters. Quote, we have located over $5 billion of cash, liquid cryptocurrency, and liquid investment securities, end quote. At the beginning of the FTX Senate banking hearing on January 11, Andy Dieterich, an attorney representing FTX, informed the bankruptcy judge in Delaware of the latest information on the case. FTX intends to sell non-strategic businesses with a $4.6 billion book value, according to Dieterich. The despite the fact that the company's records have been criticized for being inaccurate. On November 11, 2022, FTX declared bankruptcy, which resulted in founder Sam Bankman-Fried being charged with fraud and costing investors, clients, and lenders a combined total of more than $10 billion. Attorneys and advisors are still working to get money to pay off FTX's creditors. Cardano DeFi activity soars 36% as ADA opens 2023 with big rallies. As the Ethereum rival begins a scorching 2023, Cardano decentralized finance activity is surging. According to DeFi tracker DeFi Llama, Cardano's total value locked is $65.97 million at the time of writing, a 36% rise from January 1st when Cardano's TVL was reported at $48.5 million. A blockchain's TVL is a representation of the total amount of money held in its smart contracts. By dividing the amount of collateral locked into the network by the asset's current value, TVL is determined. MintSwap, a multi-pool decentralized exchange, is Cardano's top decentralized application. MintSwap accounts for more than 41% of the TVL on the Cardano blockchain with $27.26 million in total value locked. Indigo, a decentralized marketplace for trading synthetics, is the second most well-known DAPP on Cardano with $11.35 million in TVL. Wing Riders, a DEX automated market maker with $10.87 million in TVL, comes in third. In the last month, TVL has increased by about 25% on Indigo and Wing Riders. Cardano's TVL spike closely tracks its price surge. ADA is trading around $0.322 at the time of writing and is up more than 31% since December 31st. The 8th ranked cryptocurrency by market cap still remains over 90% down from its all-time high of $3.09, which it attained in September 2021. I hope you're enjoying this video. Please let us know where you're watching from, and also comment down your thoughts and opinions about these issues so we'll know who among you have been following our channel. Please help us reach more viewers around the world who are also interested about cryptocurrency by clicking the share, like, and subscribe button. Thank you so much. Now, let's go back to our last issue to talk about, which is Amazon Web Services users can now launch Avalanche blockchain nodes. Ava Labs, the company behind Avalanche, will provide crypto infrastructure via Amazon Web Services in order to promote, quote, enterprise, institutional, and government adoption of blockchain, end quote, the company said in a statement on Wednesday. Avalanche is a blockchain that is designed to support NFTs, Web3 games, and a special technology it calls Subnets. Subnets function like custom blockchains built on Avalanche, but they can have different rule sets and even use their own token in place of Avalanche's native AVAX to pay network gas fees. Ava Labs will provide subnet deployment as a service through the AWS marketplace as part of its agreement with Amazon, enabling any business or organization to hire Ava Labs to build a unique subnet on the AWS platform. According to Howard Wright, VP and Global Head of Startups at AWS, quote, at AWS, we are all about bringing the most cutting-edge technologies to builders, no matter if they sit in a multi-million-dollar enterprise, a government office, or a dorm, end quote. Quote, the new capabilities brought by Avalanche enable us to do just that, end quote. AWS will offer new tooling for Avalanche's infrastructure and ecosystem as part of its agreement with Avalanche, according to Wright, and will aid in extending Avalanche adoption, quote, to new regions and client segments, end quote. Now, Avalanche nodes may be used to store government-related data on the AWS GovCloud. This implies that using Avalanche technology for public sector initiatives would still be possible for government entities that must abide by tougher data management requirements. Quote, it has been a huge boon for both individual and enterprise developers to be able to spin up nodes and test networks on the fly with AWS in whatever legal jurisdiction makes the most sense for them, end quote, said Emin Gunsayer, founder and CEO of Ava Labs, in a statement. Quote, I'm proud that we've implemented a protocol that can accommodate millions of participants with near instant finality, end quote. Quote, our work with Amazon can accelerate the positive impact of Avalanche, end quote, Sayer added. Ava Labs is strengthening the connections between Avalanche and AWS by also joining AWS Activate and the AWS Partner Network. According to Amazon's website, APN strives to provide its member services, including financing, resources, and growth tools. AWS Activate supports tech startups. According to the release, AWS will also take part in upcoming Avalanche-related events, including the Avalanche Summit, Avalanche Creates, and hackathons. A few months ago, Google introduced its own cloud node engine for Ethereum developers, while Microsoft's M12 fund oversaw a $20 million financing round for Web3 data storage firm Space and Time. Now, AWS has introduced its Avalanche solutions. That will be all for today. We hope you have learned a lot about these issues. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to write your comments below so we'll know your thoughts and opinions about this one. See you next time, only here on CryptoBytes, your daily crypto news source.